Hello and welcome back to the second round of the 2018 Memorial Championship from Vista del Camino in Scottsdale, Arizona. We've got lead card coverage, BigSexy commentary, Nate Sexton, and Jeremy Koling.
And we see Ricky with a clean front nine, moving at 15 under. KJ with a nice solid front nine as well. Nikko had a really good front nine, minus a really bad hole 6. And Johnny just had some bad breaks, some putts that didn't go in, some rollaways, some OBs.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can bounce back in the back nine.
Hole 10 is a 651-foot par 4 with quite a few trees. OB on the left side. You're going to see some rollers perhaps, some big high anhysers, and maybe KJ might even go low up the middle. He's that kind of guy.
Oh, he's going roller. And I really like this hole because there's so many different plays. I mean, not just the... And this is actually going to be safe. That rock wall is all safe. It's almost impossible to go be right.
Yep.
You have to throw into the neighborhood, which is not really possible.
It's not really good over there, but it is safe.
But this is the other play that... Oh, he's going with the anhyzer.
Yeah, big air. I think it's a big air.
Yeah, and he's turned it over a little bit too much. Nico's going to be up the fairway. He'll have a look at the basket, so nothing that bad to speak of.
It's a good spot to be. Ricky looking for that roller. Needs to cut, and cut soon.
Oh.
Doesn't do it. That's going to be very, very difficult birdie from there.
And I personally like going the high roller over this first tree. And this is an anhyzer,
Yes.
I believe. Yeah.
Whoa,
kind of a
halfway
roller.
in between, and that is not a good choice.
That is going backwards. That needs to stay away from...
It's going to go out.
Oh, gosh, and it's going to stop right there. That's what happens when you get in the car path. It just...
Oh, the dreaded thrower.
Yep, throwers are no good. Throws or rollers, not both.
Ricky with a laser forehand. If this gets a couple skips, never mind.
Gosh.
Another tree cutting him short.
And Johnny's well out of position to even save his par here. He's throwing a laced low line.
That was really good, but
Yeah.
he still probably got 40 feet.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't do much better from that position, so great shot for Johnny. Let's see if he can make that par putt.
Nico airing out the forehand. This ought to skip right up to the basket.
I'm really impressed by that right now. That is...
So good.
I mean, that is something that 2 years ago we would have never seen.
That's kind of like something only me and you were supposed to be able to do.
And
I thought.
KJ's introducing a new part of the course to Jomez here, and
That's pretty good.
yeah, actually he's going to be just outside the circle.
Yeah, that's a weird place over there. I'm always sort of surprised that's inbounds, to be
Right.
honest, but
Right.
I'm glad it is because it lets you go for the roller.
Exactly. And Ricky's going to have that left for his par. See if Johnny can make this. Come on, Johnny.
Big par putt.
Just didn't get it up.
KJ for birdie. Nice.
That's about as unorthodox of a position as you're going to see a birdie on this hole. That is so strange.
Ricky for par. Nico's got nothing but a slam dunk. Let's see if he puts any style on it.
Yeah, we're gonna give him some style points if he does anything other than... Oh, come on, man. What is that?
Wait for the takeout. That's a little... there was a little flourish.
All right. I'll give him some flair on the takeout. But
Yeah, there you go. And Johnny takes a bogey. Hole 11, par 4, 759 feet, OB on both sides. This is another one where distance is the main obstacle. You got to make sure that you throw a long shot, hopefully 400 plus feet, but stay inside that 70-foot wide fairway, and then you make your approach to the green.
Yeah, this is playing as the fourth hardest hole of the day, averaging 4.26. So, I mean, you can just see the distance alone is what makes this tough, but also the way that the fairway just pinches in towards the middle. It really makes you be very careful with your disc selection.
That's a very big shot, though, from KJ. Past that tree by probably 40 feet. He's going to be very happy with that position.
It's a great shot for a forehand approach, but KJ does not throw forehand approaches, so it'll be interesting to see how he attacks on his second.
Nico about even with the tree.
Yeah.
That's over 400 feet from the tee, I think.
Yeah, similar position to KJ.
Got some info from my partner here. It's 426 feet to that large pine tree. So these are some 430, 440 foot low hyzers. Really pretty huge.
Yeah, I mean, for a safe shot, that's great. You know, that's the way to play it right there, Johnny. To avoid having to choose what side of the tree he's going to go on, he's just going to stay on the right side and have a straight shot from there.
And this is a pretty big distance forehand.
Yeah, and especially to throw it with hyzer the whole way. That's hard to get the whole distance there unless you put a little bit of flex, and Nikko comes up a bit short.
KJ with the mid-range. It looks like he's got a good lane. He just needs this to slow down at the basket. Yeah. Oh, wow.
It has a beautiful shot there from KJ.
KJ's heating up.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Johnny did get his disc back on hole 8.
Good. Nicely done. Inside circle 1. Ricky going very wide with the forehand. Maybe a little too wide.
And it looks like a foot fault was called on Ricky by Nikko.
I don't think...
I want you to look at the camera real quick. It's a foot fault.
You can't
use video evidence. Obviously a tense moment here, but
at least 2 feet behind.
I don't think any other player saw it. I saw some still shots. I do believe it was a foot fault. I can't blame the other players for maybe not noticing, and certainly not intentional by Ricky. Right. But with the new rules,
What Nikko's doing right now is trying to round up the troops on this one. But if they didn't see it and they didn't call it at the time, and Ricky didn't second it, which is a new thing, the player can second his own foot fault. So once that situation has been called and no one has seconded it, then
here's a view. You can see the disc or mini there. So it looks like Rick's plant foot is, I'm going to say that's a pretty clear foot fault.
You get 30 centimeters behind the disc.
But I don't think anybody's in the wrong there. I mean, I don't think anyone's trying to cheat. I think Johnny and KJ legitimately didn't see it. I can also understand Nikko's frustration.
Wow.
And look, that's a way to use that frustration to make a great putt. But I can understand Nikko's frustration after seeing a pretty clear rules violation, but clearly not something Ricky did on purpose. And we can move on from it, I believe.
And they both put it past them, and they both make their birdie putts. And it's such an interesting thing because this is the first time that we've really seen on footage of 2018 a foot fault being called, and the rules have changed. Oh, Johnny just off the right side. Just can't get a break this round. It's just tough times for Johnny so far. But if a foot fault is called and seconded, the thrower will take the throw that they have just thrown and add a stroke to their score. So they have to take the result of the shot. No rethrows this year.
Good rule change, I think.
Yeah, it's a good rule change. It's just it makes it difficult. You have to be sure that you're calling a correct call.
Yeah.
And if Johnny and KJ didn't see it, then I don't blame them for not seconding it.
Of course. KJ with a fantastic birdie.
Yeah, 3 birdies on the hole is really well done from our lead card.
Hole 12, par 3, 351 feet. This time the rocks are out of bounds, so you have to get all the way up the dam here and over the rocks where there's still a bit of the flat on top that is OB all the way onto the green. It plays longer than it says at 351 because it is uphill. Also, the tee pad was terrible.
Yeah, there's some roots and
all bumpy.
Yeah,
it was very difficult footing, I felt.
Yeah, you really had to line up your steps into this tee to avoid not tripping while you're running up, which is never something you want to do.
My group had multiple people stopping midway through their run up and having to reset. Nikko with a very aggressive flex.
Wow.
Nearly hits the basket and stops inbounds. Great shot.
Yeah, that's a great shot. It's so scary to throw a low shot on this hole. I mean, that gun height is so high, and he just barely clears it.
And Ricky with a big high turnover.
And another surprising play from Ricky, who's just obviously always so well known for his forehand abilities. Going with the backhand mid-range safe play. And he's well within Ricky distance.
And Johnny could really use a park job. And he might have one.
No way that's a putter, is it?
I don't think so. Wow, no, it's very deep.
No,
but
yeah,
that's
okay.
a good break. He is in the circle. Hopefully he can connect on a birdie and get going. This would confirm KJ officially on fire. Oh man.
All right.
Just off the chains. He's hot, but maybe not flaming yet.
I don't want to say that he doused the flames.
No, not at all. He's not in open flames, but he is.
Right.
He's still hot.
Yep.
And Ricky finding the range.
Well within Raptor range.
Back-to-back big putts.
Really uncommon. We usually don't see Ricky make long putts.
Yeah, it's it's just one of those things he must have worked on in the off season, I guess.
And just like that, I mean, back-to-back putts outside the circle for both Ricky and Nikko. Wow. Nico's figuring something out. He's tapping into something.
Yeah, definitely.
And Johnny, there you go, Johnny, on the birdie board.
Good putt. KJ's going to take the only par, it looks like.
And on the 4th hardest hole and the 5th hardest hole, we're going to see 6 under from our league group if KJ taps it in as he does. 3 birdies on each hole. Very tricky.
Showing us they belong.
Yeah.
Up there at the top.
A long walk over to hole 13.
Par 3, 405 feet, elevated basket, water everywhere. Mando on the pine tree, so you have to stay right. You can either see a really big hyzer here, but it's pretty blocked. Probably the best play is a low, flat driver, but it's a scary shot.
Yeah, and they added a mandatory on that left side before the forehanders and the lefties could go out over the sidewalk. I think they added that for protection of the walkers, but really adds an extra element that makes this hole so difficult.
Nikko with a big hyzer. He's going to be about 40 to 50 feet. Good angle to run it, though. And Ricky going big hyzer as well. Needs to just miss trees. And it doesn't appear that it did that. I think it may have fallen to the right. I couldn't see a finish.
There's this initial white tree that you see here as Johnny throws the low line that you want to obviously hyzer over, and there's a green tree that you want to get, but it's that white tree that you see right here off to the right in the background that's really difficult to hyzer over. So you have to kind of just go just off to the left side of it, but it makes it so difficult because it's completely blind from the tee.
And Johnny's shot, really can't say enough about how awesome that is. Going low over the water, through the gap, 400 feet. He put it to maybe 15 feet. Fantastic. Layup from KJ. Ricky after catching some trees.
Yeah, why not? Why not give it a run? Yeah.
Nikko from 45. Wow.
I mean, no one has ever doubted his practice regimen. I don't think I've ever seen anyone, besides maybe Ricky, practice more than Nikko. It's just the application into the tournament rounds that's really been holding him back over the last couple of years.
After the first round at Fountain Hills, I saw those two guys just putting after the round.
Yeah.
After the round, I go home.
Yeah. I mean, that is just great with 2 birdies on that card, 2 pars. That's one of the hardest holes on the course. Third hardest hole in the course. Only 10% of the field birdied it, 2 of them on our lead card.
Hole 14, 655-foot par 4 with OB on the left and right. Also a very large Mando tree, roughly 400 feet off the tee. You have to stay to the left of that large tree, as Nikko's shot will probably show us. It'll come skipping just in front of the Mando tree, setting him up for a pretty straight upshot.
And this tree right here off the tee kind of makes it tricky.
This needs to slow down a little.
Yeah, that's on very skippy grass. That is definitely heading OB.
That's a big mistake. This drive, really not that difficult. But yeah, you want to be careful of putting that extra hyzer, because this hole I would think is a pretty easy handicap.
Yeah, it's the 13th easiest hole, or the 13th hardest hole, I should say. which makes it like the 6th easiest. I don't know how.
Yeah,
I can't.
I think our viewers.
I
know
can't
what
do
we're trying to
commentary
get
and
at.
math
Yeah.
at the same time. It's just too much. Stop asking that much.
No,
of me.
stop trying to make him do all that stuff.
Okay.
There's a good shot.
You see the 3 players that kept it in bounds kind of through checkup hyzers. They weren't going for a big shot. They're just keeping it in bounds. Really, the most important shot here is the second shot. As long as you put yourself in position off the first, stay in bounds, then you can do that. Get yourself inside the circle and have a look for 3.
Mm-hmm. Johnny with the soft hyzer. Can expect some great skips out here at Vista.
Yeah, the skips that we were not getting at Fountain Hills day 1, we are getting those and more here day 2 at Vista.
Beautiful shot from KJ. A little long, but well within range.
It doesn't take long for the grass to dry out here in Phoenix. It is very dry.
Yes. Bring your chapstick if you ever make the trip out.
Yeah, no kidding. And a nice checkup approach there with a harp from Ricky Wysocki.
Great putt from Johnny, saving his par.
It's an important par save there. Just got the great birdie on 13. Don't want to give it away with a bogey on 14.
No. And Johnny, as you've seen, has fallen off the pace a little bit here, but the other 3 guys on our card are really in a tight battle.
Yeah, they're scorching it. And Nikko, even though he had some early troubles with OBs, I mean, he is putting on a putting showcase right now, and he has birdied quite a few holes in a row.
Yeah, he really is making everything right now. Ricky also putting together quite a streak. Hole 15, par 4, 741 feet with 2 mandatories. OB on the left, the fence is also OB right, but you need to stay to the right of both of these large trees next to the path. This is the second mandatory that we're flying by now. And then you have the basket also precariously close to the out-of-bounds path.
Yeah, this hole calls for either a roller or a big high anhyzer play here. And it looks like Nikko is going with the roller.
That's a lot of angle, but if it's a flippy disc.
And he is going to be... Did he
Wow,
make that?
I think he's about to miss the second mandatory.
Okay, so he is rolled out of bounds. Good save there.
Friendly play there.
Yep.
Generally, don't touch a player's disc while it's moving, but in that case, I think we can all say thank you because that was going to be probably lost in the water, and no one is arguing that might be coming back.
And Nikko was so close to throwing just a very rare make both mandatories and fade left roller shot.
Yeah.
I'll give a shout out to Robbie Bratton from Houston, Texas, who one time threw a surge roller to just inside 45 feet.
That's insane.
Yeah, that guy's got a ton of power.
And this is a safer roller, but it can slide under the fence if it does that exact thing where it tries to get onto its back at the perfectly wrong time.
Yep. If the disc is vertical at that particular place, it stays in bounds. If it's on any angle whatsoever, it'll do exactly as it is done there and slide OB.
And a big problem in that position is 1 meter off that fence is really not enough to take the big swing that you'd like to take.
Yeah, and it's kind of the reason I've been trying to advocate for 1.5 meters. I mean, it's kind of a unfair disadvantage for players who have longer limbs. Ricky Wysocki, anybody that, any follow through is going to be coming close to hitting that fence in the backswing.
Yeah, and there's no reason to endanger players. I mean, it really wouldn't make... Oh, my gosh. Well, lucky that it didn't go in the water, but clearly out of bounds. This is some surprising mistakes here from Ricky. And that's going to be a long putt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Johnny's hating it.
An early release program.
Wow, these guys are really having some OB problems here, and the wind is down, so pretty surprising. Very crowded park out here at Vista. It can be tough sometimes just because there's bikes, walkers, runners, rollerbladers, every flavor of exercising person.
Exactly. And KJ has nestled about 40, 45 feet away. He'll have that putt for birdie.
So Nikko needs to make this second mandatory, which he has done. A nice skip in there towards the basket. Pretty nice saving shot there.
Now, was that from the drop zone? Because I believe he missed the second mandatory with that roller.
I don't know if he ever did, thanks to that guy. It's hard to say with that guy. Stop. I mean, it might have been going in the water before it really missed it.
Okay, so in that situation, the mandatory takes precedence over the OB. So if you cross the mandatory line while you're out of bounds, then you would have missed the mandatory and have to go to the drop zone.
I'm going to say he didn't miss it. KJ, however, did just miss that putt. No real shame in it. It's a long one, but he would like to have that birdie. Johnny, after going out of bounds, makes a great save.
Yeah, that's a good par and a good save from Ricky for his 5 as well.
Yeah, amazing. Nikko
saves his 4.
Saves his shot as well.
So 3 pars and a bogey, but tons of OB, but relatively unscathed for the lead group.
Definitely. Par 3 on the 16th, 372 feet up here on the hillside. This can be a tough one for rollaways. So you really want to throw, you can do a backhand or a forehand. You just got to be careful on your putt. You got to make this one. You can't afford to hit the cage.
Yeah, and this is a double mando that they've added. Over the years, it used to just be wide open in that you could throw a hyzer. And so it has forced players like Nikko, who traditionally like to throw the hyzer, to throw a sidearm, and he has landed inside the circle.
Nice shot.
And this begins the Turkey Gulch finish here. You want to go birdie, birdie, birdie to finish if you can. I mean, really, these guys are in position here to shoot a great round, and if they can get these 3, it'll set them up to be on lead card for the last round.
Yeah, we'll be watching them again, I think. Any of these players, anyone but Johnny at this point, if they turkey, they're going to be making that lead card.
That's right. And Ricky with that low forehand line, trying to go left side of the tree, skip up the hill. That's exactly how it's done, ladies and gentlemen.
One more time. Perfect shot. Really looks like he's putting no effort. It's just beautiful.
And that's just a fraction of an angle away from skipping up that hill and rolling right back down OB.
Could happen. Oh, man, that would have been a highlight putt. KJ just outside the circle, I think. Okay.
And that's scary to hit metal, but he hit the right side of the band, scoots right instead of left.
Nikko's putting has just been on point.
Flawless.
Another great one.
I don't know if I can't recall him missing a putt this round.
That putt is a lot harder than it looks, too. Going up the hill with the fear of what could happen if you miss it in the back of your mind.
He had a tricky putt on hole 1 that he missed because it was a low ceiling.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's made every single opportunity he's had.
And quite a few of them from distance.
And Ricky taps in his birdie, and KJ gets his par, and Johnny running through, showing he's still got so much energy. That's what we love about Johnny.
Definitely. Hole 17, par 3, 243. Very, very short hole. Out of bounds long and out of bounds left. Really no trees. It's just about getting your angles right on this hillside, not overpowering the shot. I'm going to call star frame here. I feel like these guys have got this.
Yeah, this is the easiest hole in the course, and, justifiably so. It's just a really simple shot here, just to play hyzer sidearm into this hillside. And
that looks good.
And one of the scary things in years past was the opportunity to roll down the hill OB, and this year they made it even easier with that little wall at the bottom of the hill. So
yeah,
a little bit less scary than it's been in years past.
KJ making it look very easy. Flat putter, slide right to the basket.
Thank you.
And the one thing that they did do to this hole to make it a bit trickier is add a higher pole here, so it's now an elevated putt. But on such an easy tee shot like this one, it's just, it's not really adding that much difficulty to it.
No, not too much. But what else are you going to do? All you have is 243 treeless feet.
Right.
So it's never going to be a hard hole.
Freeless treat.
Yep, freeless treats. Gotta love treats.
Yeah, especially if they're freeless. And thanks as always to Discraft for putting on a great event with the memorial. This is the 30th annual memorial.
Pretty amazing. Thank you. 18, par 3, 381, tall basket, OB right, OB left. I think the play here is just a pretty big hyzer. You can also go with kind of a lower, soft finishing hyzer, but I like to use the really high hyzer to control the skip. Looks like Nikko is a fan of it as well. Pretty high.
And this is probably the fastest grass in all of Arizona. So going in with a wide rim disc allows the disc to not quite skip as far unless you have it flat.
Yeah.
If you have some good angle here coming in with hyzer, it'll allow the disc to check up, but it really doesn't matter what you throw. If you throw it flat, it's going to skip OB. So it's really important that these players throw with hyzer and angle it into the green, as we see both Nikko and Ricky put it on the green.
Yeah. KJ also going big and wide. This looks very good. Yeah, I think that qualifies. It's very good. Maybe better than that.
Oh yeah, that's a slam dunk finish there. Although I'm sure, I don't know if he plays basketball. I don't know how much basketball there is being played in Denmark. I'm sure there's some.
They're the tallest nation in the world.
Well, that doesn't mean that they're playing basketball.
But they probably should think about it.
Yeah, they should consider it for sure.
Johnny, oh man, trying to end what has been a bit of a difficult round for him.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky, back-to-back 10 under par rounds.
Fearless, and this is the hole that I saw Ricky putting the most on. Mm-hmm. This is the one. This is the finishing hole for the event, and if it's a close race, you want to make sure you're fairly comfortable with this green. A missed putt will go straight into the water here, so Ricky definitely putting his dues in and getting rewarded there.
Nikko also got a shout out, back-to-back 10 unders, moves to 20 under. KJ moves to 19. Really solid golf from those three. Johnny, not going to be too happy. Going to finish the round at -2.
And we're halfway through the event, and Ricky Wysocki and Nikko Locastro 20 under with a, just look at that back nine for Nikko. I mean, just
beautiful.
After hole 6, he really turned on the fire and just lit up the back nine.
Here's our leaderboard. One, Paul Macbeth making a big move, shooting 13 under to move to a 1-stroke lead.
And Ricky with back-to-back 10 unders drops the second card. I mean, the scoring separation in Phoenix and Scottsdale is very limited. You have to be bringing your best play for 4 straight rounds. Be interesting to see what happens in the 3rd round of the 2018 Memorial Championships.
We will be there. See you then.